Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today, this is the conclusion of our full album listening of Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. These are the last 2 tracks on the album, Cinema Show and Isle of Plenty. So this has been quite the adventure with this album so far, to say the least. We've gone dancing, we've considered careers and life direction, stopped to admire our environment, we've learned life lessons, endured battles, we've maybe recovered from that a little bit, and so where are we headed now? The cinema show. We headed to the movies? I'm guessing that it's probably a little deeper than that, but who knows at this point. I sort of know to now expect anything with this group. And of course, what else we are doing with this music is what we can all expect here on the channel, and that is that because I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor, we dive into all of the little details of this music, how it's all composed, all the instruments that might be used, maybe some music theory or musical terms, maybe instrument demos, but of course, how do we relate to all of this music? Why do we like this entire album? Or maybe why do we not like it? I am liking this album so far, so that's my stance at this point. I'm sure this conclusion is going to be grand. So no more delay. Let's listen. Okay, here we go.
Home from work, our Juliet clears her morning meal. She dabs her skin with pretty smells concealing to appeal. I will make my bed, she said, return to go. Can she be late for her cinema show? Cinema show.
Yeah, this one's really neat. It's really beautiful. It's so delicate. The light guitar work and the harpsichord sounds and just... The chord progressions are more predictable, but they're more tender. They go in directions that really bring out the emotion in music. And it sort of is bouncing a little bit back and forth between major and minor. And just the arpeggiated structure of the chords just really makes it... It makes it cry, but you know how sometimes we can have, both happy tears and sad tears. It's just a full display of simple emotion. And then the texture of all the instruments, it's so colorful. So I'm already into this, whatever it is. I some of the words, I heard some, which is amazing because the instruments in the background were so wonderful. Talking about a woman, and should she go to the cinema show? So maybe we are talking about just going to see a movie, but there's more to it, I'm sure. About her life, making choices, I don't know. We'll get there. This is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous, y'all. So yeah, here we go. We're just gonna keep going.
and scurries up the stair with head held high and floral tie, a weekend millionaire. I will make my bed with her tonight, he cries. Can he fail, armed with his chocolate surprise? Take a little trip back with Father Tiresias. Listen to the old one speak of all he has lived through. I have crossed between the poles. For me there's no mystery. Once a man like the sea I raged, once a woman like the earth I gave. But there is in fact more earth than sea.
Whoa, okay. Oh, wow. All right. I love this. I really love this. Okay, so we are getting different movements within this, but there is some sense of being centered. Like the opening material, we are coming back to that. I liked the energetic part in there. Did we switch singers? Was that Phil Collins singing about Romeo? I heard him say something about Romeo. So, but it really got energetic there for a little bit. But then we came back to the opening material. It was this little instrumental interlude. Not a transition per se, it was an interlude. Loved it. And there were a couple of instruments in there. So I heard flute, but did I also hear an oboe? Or possibly English horn? It was a little hard to tell. I loved the usage of those two instruments. I think at one point they even played together, and I was like, I cannot distinguish one from the other. But then they would split and take turns. I heard the oboe go da 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 da. That's sort of a gesture that you hear a lot from an oboe or English horn. And there was this cool like sliding sound in it, like in the back, happened 2 or 3 times. So creative, so wonderful. And now we're into something new. And actually there were some chord changes in there that were sort of more similar to other tracks on the album, more Battle of Epping Forest kind of changes, or Firth of Fifth kind of chord changes. But it still wasn't too much. Like it's still playing by some of the same rules that the opening section and now this instrumental interlude section is playing by. Okay, but now it didn't change. We headed into sort of a new section here, but with the voice coming back, and it's still sort of it's All right, we're going to back it up to where that started and then keep going. This is really fantastic.
Take a little trip back with Father Tiresias. Listen to the old one speak of all he has lived through. I have crossed between the poles. To me there's no mystery. Once a man like the sea I raged. Once a woman like the earth I gave. But there is in fact more earth than sea.
That right there is kind of a new twist from Genesis right there. It sort of seemed to kind of go, I don't know, it seemed like an 80s song. Maybe it's just that synthesizer sound. What does it sound like? The da-da-dum-bum, whatever that song is. Yeah. The Final Countdown. But I know that came after this, so influence there, right? Has to be. Okay. So that instrumental interlude sort of was able to weave in the vocals, but then it was the na-na-na-na-na kind of stuff, and it was really beautiful. Once again, all of the layers that were brought in, like the voices down here and some voices up here, really, really lovely. Then we have the energetic section back in. So form-wise, what in the world do we have? Probably A1, B, A again with instrumental interlude, and then B, and now this new section that it would be C. The 80s sounding section. Well, I sure did enjoy the guitar sound in the B section, because that to me was reminding me of Firth of Fifth. It's the same guitar sound. And again, some of the same moves in the chord changes. It's really great. Also, just in the last little bit there, heard some playing with the time signatures. Couldn't quite figure out. It wasn't like a straight, like a beat of 5 or 7. It was more like cutting it short by just like a half of a beat. So that counting probably would be done in 8, where the 8th note is what you count, and they would just leave one off at the end. That's sort of my best guess. I'd have to go back and hear it again. All these things are so brief, though. There are lots of changes that happen. All right, this new section, it's really revving up. And we're just like halfway through this now, like a little over halfway through. What in the world? Plus the next one. And I'm not even sure yet completely if they're going to segue from one to the next. I'm going to do my best to try to sort of go with the flow here and whatever's happening with that. But we'll get there. Here we go. I've arrived at a new plateau here. It might be brief though. There's so much energy here. It's probably going to change very quickly. Wow. Okay, so just as I was saying that they were messing with the time signatures and that it wasn't completely obvious what it was, that they were sort of just sneaking in like one of those eighth notes, just like a half a beat that's left off of a measure, I suddenly realized, oh, they settled into a very steady 7/8 pattern, and it's been going for a long time now. So that's just 7/8 notes in a bar. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but how you count it is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's just been very firmly established for a while. The keyboard, right? Keyboard solo. Fantastic. Fantastic. At first I thought it was sort of a synthesized English horn. It sounded like that, but I was like, no, that's some kind of synthesizer sound. And then I think the mellotron, we get that back in, that choir sound in the background that I love so much, and it shows up like it was a lot in Fourth and Fifth, and I talk about it how it reminds me of some Radiohead music because I really love Radiohead. It's one of the bands I've gotten to know on my own over the years, especially things from OK Computer. That mellotron sound, it's fantastic. So this music just is running everywhere all at once. And then it has the foundation underneath it with, there's sort of the organ pedal tone, which just means you hold one note for a really long time. And I was even noticing that way back at the beginning of the whole piece where there were two notes actually, either a fourth or a fifth, in the guitar lines where it was just those two notes were being played over and over steadily with all of the stuff, the arpeggios working above it. And all of the motion of this, it's all sort of contrary retrograde motion. It just swirls around you. It's such an adventure. Am I able to keep up with the form? I don't know. What are we on now? E, F, starting to become like different versions of the Enterprise now. Okay, if you're a Trekkie, you know. All right. Let's just keep going. I gotta keep going. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to go straight into the Isle of Plenty. Okay. I got the segue. I swear I did. They're two separate tracks in what I'm using right now, but My brain's going to piece them together. Don't worry. Wow. Okay. I just realized that there were no words that came back in for quite a while. In just a moment, I will go back and look at lyrics. But for now, I'm just letting the music soak in. I think with the cinema show, I was kind of wanting the opening material to return. And I feel like maybe it sort of is with Isle of Plenty. But I'm not going to read too much into it yet. The energy at the end of the cinema show was fantastic. And to be honest, I'm still not quite sure what the meaning of the song is. I know what it means to me right now, which is just playing with beauty and energy. And I did hear little bits and pieces of things that they had used in previous tracks. So I don't know if they wrote the cinema show after they had written the previous tracks on the album. But if they did, it would make sense to me because I really do hear bits and pieces of all of them. Okay, I think I'm ready for these last 2 minutes of this whole album experience. I'm just going to back it up to the beginning of this track and just take it all in.
I don't belong here, said old Tessa out loud. Easy love, there's the safe way home. Thankful for her fine fair discount. Tess cooperates. Still alone in oh hello. See the deadly nightshade grow.
Okay. So yeah, we got our coda with the Isle of Plenty. And it's funny how I said that there were no lyrics there at the end, because I think we sort of got our lyrical interlude. We had lots of lyrics there at the end. They were all their own musical motifs being brought in as instruments. I love that. I love blurring the lines between using instruments and vocals. So when instruments sort of speak more like a vocal line, and then when a vocal line is used more like an instrumental line. I love that. Okay, this is the end of the album, guys. Okay. All right, I'm still processing. Let's look at the lyrics first, though. Yes, I think we need to do that right now. All right, lyrics from the cinema show. Home from work, our Juliet. I heard something about Romeo, so Romeo and Juliet. Clears her morning meal. She dabs her skin with pretty smells. Oh, perfume, okay. Concealing to appeal. I will make my bed, she said, but turned to go. Can she be late for her cinema show? Romeo locks his basement flat and scurries up the stair. With head held high and floral tie, a weekend millionaire. Maybe spending money that you don't have to have fun on the weekends. I will make my bed with her tonight, he cries. Can he fail armed with his chocolate surprise? Take a little trip back with Father... I didn't know what this was. Tiresias? I'm not sure what that is. I'm sorry. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Listen to the old one speak of all he has lived through. I have crossed between the poles. For me, there's no mystery. Once a man, like the sea I raged. Once a woman, like the earth I gave. But there is, in fact, more earth than sea. As in, like Mother Nature? How Mother Nature always wins over humanity? Over man? Okay. And it's just that again. All right. These lyrics, y'all. These Genesis lyrics. All right. Some of the lyrics in this album have been just completely like overdone, kind of nonsense, but at the same time, there are a lot of deep ideas here. Kind of sometimes you just have to dig a little further. So I don't think that they're just talking about a couple, like that are in a relationship, like literally. However, it is interesting that it's Romeo and Juliet. And then the father figure they're talking about, which I don't know what that name is, but I'm assuming it's sort of representing someone or something that is really wise. So maybe it's about living a lifestyle, kind of sheltered and not necessarily in the most productive way, or I really am getting something about like Mother Earth here. Maybe Father Time and how man kind of battles that. Maybe how we are just trying to live a meaningful life within all of time. I don't know. Maybe that's getting too large for all of this. I don't know. It's a pretty big work. It could be that. Like the cinema show could be like the entire existence of humans. Or it could just represent a certain society, a snapshot of a certain society. Or it could be a day in the life of a couple just trying to live their lives. Or it could be about two people going out on a date and maybe spending a little bit too much money going out for the weekend. I don't know. I think it's maybe all of the above. All right, I'm going to check out what the lyrics are for the Isle of Plenty, which should be interesting because there was plenty of things, plenty of words happening at the end. I don't belong here, said old Tessa out loud. Easy, love, that's the safe way home. Why is Safeway capitalized? Like the grocery store? Thankful for her fine fare discount. Tess cooperates. Still alone in Oh Hello. See the deadly nightshade grow. Oh, okay. Nightshade is not good. Are they naming like grocery stores? Like co-ops, Safeways. We don't have fine fares here in the States, but we have Safeway and co-ops. Okay. Overlapping voices, it says. Outro, overlapping voices. English ribs of beef bone in 47 pence a pound. Are you kidding me? English ribs of beef bone and 47 pence a pound. Peak friends, family assorted from 17.5 to 12. Okay, why am I going into an Irish accent there? Because I did spend a little bit of time in Ireland a handful of years ago, and I did go to the local markets, and you'd be walking around and you would hear the announcements over the loudspeaker. Fairy liquid giant slashed from 20 pence to 17.5. Table jellies at 4 pence each. That's what they were saying. Anchor butter down to 11 pence for a half. Bird's eye dairy cream sponge on offer this week. It's scrambled eggs. Okay. Oh, that's funny. But also not funny. Why are they naming grocery stores and grocery store announcements? Because they don't really do that a whole lot in grocery stores in the U.S. where they actually like completely. They might have like back in the 80s maybe. No, more most of the time it's more like clean up an aisle 9 kind of thing. All right, so naming grocery stores, that has to be a nod to society, like consumerism. Has to be. They should have brought in the lawnmower sound again. Actually, there was a motor running outside of my recording studio not long before I started this recording. And I'm glad they didn't start it back up because it was kind of loud, but that might have fit if it would have come in at the end. Why not? Okay. Well, first I have to address, we'll sort of work backwards here a little bit. Obviously, in the aisle. Oh, aisle. Okay. Aisle. AISLE, as in grocery aisle. Right. Plenty. Yeah. Okay. Consumerism. All right. We're clicking. Okay. There was a direct reprise, a quote here from the first track on the album. Am I right? Yeah. We heard some dancing come back. Let's hear that again.
I don't belong here, said old Tessa out loud. Easy love, there's the safe way home. Thankful for her fine fair discount. Tess cooperates. Still alone in oh hello. See the deadly nightshade grow.
Love it. With the Mellotron choir in the background. Love it. Woo. Okay, and now I'm starting to hear the grocery announcements. They were very passionate grocery announcements. Okay. Yeah, direct quote from Dancing with the Moonlit Night. Okay, and so with that last track, I'm going to go back now to the beginning, the opening of the cinema show, because one thing that they both shared is a feeling of being so delicate. And I remember feeling that way with dancing, with the opening track too. And so how wonderful that they brought it back, and that they still had the penultimate track, the cinema show, carrying so much energy, but still starting also so delicately. And how it handed it off was just perfect. How they were able to sort of transform the arpeggio, all of the retrograde motion that I was talking about, and turn it into the more simple, the da 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 bum bum bum, that line, to head back into that little recap, from Dancing with the Moonlit Night. Okay, so let's hear the beginning again at the cinema show. It's gorgeous. This minor key setting. And this Baroque style of interpretation. There's a lot of rubato, espressivo. Those are different musical terms that we use to create this, where you don't just go bum ba 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 ba. It's bum ba 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 da 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 bum bum, where you take a little bit of time on the opening beat, the downbeat, bum ba da 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 da, sometimes at the beginning or halfway through the bar. But the trick is that you can't do it the same each time. So one has to be a little bit of a lean in, but then the next time, not quite so much, but then the next time, you can't repeat it too much. And then whatever time you take in that opening note, you have to sort of speed it up in the notes that come right after to sort of make up for it. That is absolutely a technique that takes active thinking in creating your musical interpretation. So if you hear this happening here, you'll hear that how they take time but then make up for it, and it's not the same each time. Faster, slower. Little time fast, a little slower there, fast. Really big slowing down. It's very, very well done. Now in the major key, a little shimmer of something. Like that. I love this.
Home from work, our Juliet clears her morning meal. She dabs her skin with pretty smells.
So is this Phil singing?
I will make my bed, she said, return to go.
Love the duet here. Finger cymbals. They're funny little finger cymbals though. Oh, triangle maybe? Love it. Oh. Yeah. Gorgeous harmonies here.
Romeo locks his basement.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Just that right there is going to be something that I am going to be wanting to listen to. Sometimes I'll probably listen to the first minute or so of the song and then just hit repeat and listen to it again because it's just really, really, really gorgeous. I'd love to be able to sit down and work it up on the keyboard as well. That would be really, really fun. Okay, but then where are we headed? It gets really crazy really fast. So a couple minutes in, we have more energy.
Father Tiresias.
But it's still like a happy energy. This for the fifth, right?
Listen to the old one speak.
Yeah.
Of all he has lived through.
Awesome.
I have crossed.
Yeah, that's a great combination of the delicate part at the beginning and then adding in that main sound of theirs. Really fantastic. Okay, let's move ahead a little bit. Let's hear what's going on with these woodwind instruments. Flute, oboe, English horn, whatever it may be. It's awesome. See, I love it. See. Oboe. Got the flute. The oboe sound. Oh, and now they're together. It still could be an English horn. Oh, love that. The little thing that's dipping up. Excellent. Beautiful. Love it. The delicate part is back. Voices as instruments. What a soundscape here. It's just gorgeous. And it heads into something really glorious here. I gotta hear it again. It's so fun.
Take a little trip back with Father Tiresias. listen to the old one speak of all he has lived through.
Yeah, okay, so again, these are perfect transitions going in from the delicate sound into more energy, and then that part with the na 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 is so gorgeous. And it just, like breathing, just goes right into the energy again. The drums, sort of took us right into that. Amazing. And the guitar, we had the flute, and then the guitar is doing, love it. Okay, I want to move ahead just a little bit and catch the 80s section. Of course, that's just my term, 80s. But it's because of this sound and what it kind of morphs into. It's a great transition also. Yeah, that was a great transition there. So the tone of that instrument sort of became more staccato, which just means short. So bum bum, like ba da 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 ba 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 da ba ba, which allowed for that transition to happen. Really neat. But yeah, it just reminds me of some, like, the Final Countdown song, and it's a good song. I know that song, so I was happy to hear that there. Okay, but now I want to go ahead because I think this is another one of those killer moments that's just so full of beauty. Let's see if we can find it. There's some anticipation happening here. And then it just kind of goes away like dum bum bum bum, like an ambulance or something riding off in the distance. The da da dum ba. Wow, that is so powerful. I love that line. Whew. Okay. I think still though things continued on just a little bit more. I'm going to go just a little bit further to hear one more spot. Here we go. More serious here, but in that steady 7/8, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. It's really hard to stop that. I want to keep listening, and I will be going back and listening to both of these tracks together. Okay, great finale there, with the height of that. They went, we had the staccato thing with the 80s thing, but then this was really sustained here at the end, and they really gave a good boost to the bass sound as well. So it was a really strong finale right there. And then it winds down and takes us back into the Isle of Plenty, which is basically the coda to the entire work, the entire album work. Awesome. Okay. That was The Cinema Show and Isle of Plenty, the last two tracks from Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. I am kind of sad that it's over. But it's not over. So I will absolutely be going back and listening to this entire album from start to finish. Absolutely. And I'll go back and pay attention to a few of my favorites. There'll probably be some passing favorites and some sleeper hits and a few of the ones that I go to every time. This one is really fantastic. I keep saying that word, but it's fantastic, okay? I really love it. I already want to go back and listen to it right now, so I probably will as soon as I turn off the camera here. So, thank you to everyone who recommended this album. Sometimes I do put up polls to choose albums, but other times I do sort of go based on suggestion and response, like when certain albums come up. If I do a reaction for a song for an artist and everyone's like, oh, I love this artist, especially this album, I pay attention to that, and this is what can result from it. So this was a really great experience. I am forever grateful for it. I can't wait to listen to the whole thing all at once. It'll be great. And please do feel free to let me know more info about it. Okay, and so what are my favorites so far? Well, it's obvious that I love The Cinema Show. I love this one a lot, especially the opening of it. I Know What I Like and More Fool Me have been sort of standing out in my mind recently, but again, that might change, as we continue to listen to albums, we develop different favorites. And so right now, that's kind of what I am favoring right now. And it's funny that they're the two shorter ones, but that's okay. For a long time, it was Firth of Fifth, especially that spot with the guitar solo about 2/3 the way through. Just fantastic. Yeah, but now we have this, the beginning of this one. No, but see, I like all the epic stuff, the Epping Forest and the dancing and After the Ordeal. See, I can't, no. Nope. I tried. I can't name absolute favorites here. I just do really like the beginning of The Cinema Show. I'll just say that. That's good enough for now. Anyway, thank you again for coming with me on this journey. And stay tuned for what's coming next. By the time you watch this, I probably will have announced what the new next full album is going to be. Okay. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.